Good evening. I'm your host, Robert Mancuso, and welcome to Up Close and Personal. Tonight, we will be discussing Howard Gardner's book, 5 Minds for the Future. Joining us tonight on the phone is Robert Howery, Media Director for American Career College. Gardner talks about the 5 minds as the disciplined mind, the synthesizing mind, the creating mind, the respectful mind, and the ethical mind. I'm going to be using these minds in our discussion this evening with Robert Howery, Head of Media for American Career College.
Okay. The first one is the disciplined mind. We often hear about the phrase thinking outside the box. By disciplined mind, I mean this is what creates the box. So how long does it take for someone in your field to achieve the level of expert in media? In other words, to create their box?
I would say you're probably looking at 5 years, maybe.
5 years? Uh-huh.
Yeah. And media changes so much, especially with the online. It's just, you're continually growing. So I think that box is always being developed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, with all the online stuff.
The author says about 10 years. He said because of technology today, people are doing it in 5 years. Are you finding that to be the case?
You have more resources at your fingertips to be able to develop that. Absolutely.
How many years are you in the business?
Hard years 15, soft years about 25. And I say soft because I was in advertising, but I wasn't directly doing media.
Okay.
But for the last 15, it's been strictly just buying, placing media plans and strategies.
The next mind is called the synthesizing mind. And so from all the knowledge that's available out there, what do you pay attention to and what do you consciously ignore?
To be honest, I don't ignore anything. I pay attention to just everything that's out there, whether it's news feeds, looking at ads on TV or out in the media or online. My big thing is when someone calls me, I don't want to say, "Oh, I'll never use that." I try to gather the information, one, to increase my knowledge, but it never fails. Someone will say, "Hey, Rob, do you have any information on this?" And that was the person who called me 6 months ago, and I'll have all their information.
How do you put it all together in a way that enables you to convey it to others?
I did a presentation, like a PowerPoint one time, just kind of going over the people in my department who weren't exposed to actual advertising, kind of what the difference between brand and DR. So PowerPoints, reports, emails, things like that, mostly.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other way that you've seen other people do it?
Yeah, Susan Polite, she's good at doing. She does a colors, like an assessment test where she just does like little conferences with everybody. So I've seen that. But mostly like PowerPoint or emails is usually the biggest way.
The third mind is called the creating mind, and here's where we encourage people to think outside the box. So what is creativity in the media business?
What is creativity?
Yeah.
I see it as the development and placement of the actual artwork, whether it's a TV spot or outdoor advertising or an online ad or a blog or whatever it may be. It's the actual creative element that's going to draw attention to your company or your product. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Some agencies have models that they put together. Do you use a model of some kind?
I personally don't. I mean, when it comes to actual creative elements of it, I'm on the outside of it. Mm-hmm. That's more of our creative team.
Robert, your comments are very insightful, but we're running out of time, and I'd like to focus on the last mind called the ethical mind.
What constitutes ethics in your corner of the media field?
For me, it's people who are just, are in it for the same reason you are, the best interest of you and your client, as well as the bottom line. It's a money thing, and that's not what it's all about. That's not the bottom line for me. So I think people just need to be, it's important to be accountable and be honest.
Okay.
And you'll do better. You'll do better in the long run.
How do you think ethics has changed during your career?
Society, as we get older, or society develops, we become desensitized to things. I mean, I think it does become less of that. Absolutely.
You've been listening to a conversation with Robert Howery, Media Director for American Career College. This is your host, Robert Mancuso, wishing you a good evening.